everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah TV presents More Than Meets the Third Eye. Okay, so we're going to have a brief spiritual vitamin this afternoon. Let me give some more people a little time to come on in. Hello, Silent D, Cherokee Descended King, Favorable Child, Miss Fitz, Ayon, Brandon, Hiram, Nessie, CH464, Michael M, Conscious Outlaw, Beatzilla. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but I want to talk about how we allow people to absorb our energy to leave us feeling spiritually depleted. Okay? Now, hello there, Desmond. Now, there's some people that we deal with in life, on a regular basis. We know we shouldn't be dealing with these people because no matter what we do, they always have something negative to say. They never bring anything beneficial to the table. They never give you anything, any positive, feedback. They never give you any words of encouragement. They always want to try to bring you down. And then you have also people who are narcissists, people who are manipulative. They paint a picture of themselves. It's just a whole facade, something that they really are not, just the side of you they want to show you. And unfortunately, it isn't usually until later on down the line that the real them comes through. And that's not who you even thought you knew. And that's not who you even want or need to be dealing with. My grandmother used to always tell us that a lot of times, especially in relationships, intimate relationships, people will show us the best version of themselves and hide the rest. She said that they would send their representatives to meet you and greet you for the first 6 months to a year. Their representative, the best side of themselves, the parts of themselves that they want you to see, while hiding in the closet all of these other nefarious parts of them, showing you pieces of themselves. And then as you start to peel back the layers of the onion, then you start seeing them for who they really are. And a lot of times these people are clearly nefarious. And you need to just cut them off several times. But some of us have developed something, some sort of codependency on these people. For whatever reason, we feel attached to them. And like we can't just let go. We can't just cut them off cold turkey. So we allow these people to stay in our lives continuously, bringing nothing but more and more negative energy, keeping us down, keeping us from progressing and moving forward. Because a lot of times, when we're depressed and going through things, we're stagnant. We can't focus, We can't stay disciplined. And so these people are to your detriment. And some of us just can't bring ourselves to cut them off. CH464 says, Queen, I had someone telling me that I have a yellow-green aura. What does that mean? Beloved, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you because here's the thing. At the end of the day, our chakras, they don't really have colors, okay? They don't really have colors. Our chakras are clear. Now, the reason people associate them with colors is because of the simple fact, for example, let's talk about the heart chakra. When people talk about the heart, they instinctively think of the color red, When we think of royalty, we think of purple. I'm just saying people have certain colors that they, associate with certain things. But in reality, the chakras are colorless, just clear. So I don't know what that person meant. Maybe that's something they saw. I mean, I can't speak on it because everyone may see something different when they look at you. You understand what I'm saying? The energy that you're putting off at that particular time, or the energy that they themselves are encompassed in at that time. But back to what I was saying, we have these people that we allow to stay in our lives and keeping us stagnant, not allowing us to move on and move ahead or progress. Merely stumbling blocks put in front of us as obstacles. And these are people you need to get rid of. You need to stop devoting your energy and time and space to these individuals. And you will find that after dealing with them and talking to them and being in their presence, a lot of times you just feel so tired, You feel so down. And that's because they've drained you of your energy. Like energy vampires, because that's what they are. So with that all being said, one who cares says, thank you, Queen, for all the hard work you do for us. Thank you, beloved, for your kind words. And so with that all being said, you know, you have to learn to take back your energy from people. That's what you need to do. We give our energy so many times to the wrong people and the wrong things. And you know, the thing is this, love is the highest vibration. Love is the highest frequency, right? Fear is the lowest. In between love and fear, you have many other emotions and feelings. And when someone is making you feel negative, someone is bringing your vibration down, well, you need to just separate yourself from that person. Maybe not permanently, but at least for the time being. Maybe you're not in the mental space that you want to be in at that point, right? And so when you're trying to raise your own levels of frequency, when you're trying to put yourself in a better space mentally and physically, you need to separate from individuals who are to your detriment. Sometimes we sit there and we give people all this energy. Let me tell you something. There are some people who absolutely want to get on your last nerve. There are some people who absolutely want to make you feel bad about yourself, about life. There are some people who just always want to bring you down because they themselves are miserable. And misery does truly love company. So what you do, what ends up happening when you go back and forth with these people, because some people love to argue. They love to be disagreeable. They love to be contrary, and they do it on purpose. They get a rise out of seeing you upset and mad, butthurt, and bothered. So they absolutely start these intentional conflicts, these arguments. They start them on purpose. Now, I had someone in my own family tell me a few months ago, I was talking to them about how they were so disagreeable and how everyone is always arguing with them. Now, they don't want to take accountability for the fact that they're the ones that always start the mess and that clearly they're a petty, messy person. Instead, they wanted to blame everyone else and say, well, no, you all just have bad attitudes. We don't have bad attitudes. We just have the attitude that we don't want to be engaging in BS. We just have the attitude that we don't want to be dealing with a negative person and their bad energy, which is what this person is. And as we continued this conversation, the person went on to admit to me, said, sometimes I piss you all off on purpose. This is what they said. Sometimes I piss you all off on purpose. I like to. And I said to myself, what kind of person likes to make people purposely upset? I'm glad you asked. A demon. A person with low vibrational energy and frequencies. A person who is not happy in life or with themselves. And so they want to make things just as bad for everyone else around them. That's the kind of person that does that. Because happy people who not only come to you with smiles and kind words, happy people try to uplift, inspire, and encourage and motivate you. It is those people who are so unhappy with themselves and their life and the way things are going for them that they want to bring everybody else down to their level. And when you start engaging in these back and forths with them, that's exactly what you do. You start stooping down to their level. And that's exactly what they want. And the last thing I'm going to do is give a negative, wicked, nefarious person exactly what they want. So you know what I do? I separate myself from them and I just tell them peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. And I wish them well. Now, some of them, I wish them well, depending on the nefariousness of what they have done to me, right? Now, someone who does something so nefarious, you can't get past it, and you know that they clearly have it in for you, well, I don't wish those people well. I don't wish them good. I don't wish them bad. I don't wish them well. I just wish them gone. I just wish them gone. And at that moment, that's what I do. I make them disappear from my presence, from my life, from my mind, and from my spirit. Okay? One thing that I love about myself is I'm easily able to detach myself from someone. I don't care who you are. You could do something to me, and with me, you know how some people say 3 strikes and you're out? With me, it's not 3 strikes and you're out. This ain't a baseball game. You don't get to screw me over 3 times. You don't get to screw me over 3 times, honey. You can do something to me 1 time. That's so nefarious as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to cut you right off right then and there. There's no coming back from it, right? There's no coming back from it. I would never call you again. I would never speak to you again. And I won't even mention you. At that point, you become irrelevant to me. And see, that's the problem. Some of us keep holding on to irrelevant people, trying to make them relevant, trying to hope that they're going to change and be or do something better, but they're not. Some people are stuck in their ways. Some people are just nefarious for no reason. Some people just like being a pain in the butt. Some people just like being contrary and negative. And with that type of energy, it's hard to get rid of. And the only way to get rid of it is if the person truly wants to get rid of it. And the first thing they need to do is admit their foolishness. Confess that they are low vibrational. Acknowledge it, accept accountability. And then feel remorse and try to change. But many of people are not going to do that. Many of these wicked people, they're not going to do that. So they're just going to stay the same. So you keeping them around and keeping them in your life, that's just not going to be to your benefit. Another thing is this. I've seen people on occasion be in relationships with people, you know, like intimate relationships, or they want to be, desire to be in intimate relationships with a person. But this person, being a manipulator, as some people are, they'll keep you around just to get whatever they can get from you. Because a lot of people are there for, you know, ulterior motives. They may say to you, oh, I'm not just ready to settle down. I'm not ready to be in a relationship. But they'll keep you stagnant, sitting there waiting, hoping that they'll change their mind. They say, oh, no, let's just be friends. You know, I'm just not ready for a commitment. At the end of the day, let me tell you something. Somebody that tells you that they're not ready for a relationship, but they expect you to do things that you do in a relationship, you need to cut them off. You need to stop playing those games with them, because that's all it is mind games. This is what narcissistic people do. They keep you on standby while they go out here and do whatever they want with whomever they want to do it. And this goes for men and women. They play mind games with you. And some people, they don't want you, but still they don't want anybody else to have you. And the reason they don't want anybody else to have you is because they want you to forever be available for them. You see, if you move on in life and find somebody that really wants you and that you're really happy with, then you're not going to have time for their BS. And you're going to cut them on off. So they want to just keep you on a string for their own convenience. And here's the thing, you know, because I was talking to somebody just last week, a friend of mine, about being put in the friend zone. You know, when you're in a relationship, or at least you think you're in a relationship, because you've been, you know, hanging out with this person, going out on dates, being intimate with this person and all of that. But they've made it clear to you that they date other people. And you say, okay, that's fine. And you think in your mind that once you get to this certain point in the relationship, they'll cut those people off and just stick with you. But then instead of doing that, they tell you, no, I think we're better off as friends. And then you still stay stuck on standby, hoping that one day this friendship that you have with them will evolve into a relationship, a monogamous relationship. And like I said, I was just talking to someone about this last week. So, but let me tell you what happens though. This person's not going to ever take you out of the friend zone. They're just going to keep you on standby. And if you're still willing to sleep with them, they're going to still do that too. They're going to still do, because what you're really doing is giving them their cake and allowing them, you know, they're having their cake and eating it too. That's what they're really doing. So when you have these type of parasitic relationships, because that's what it is, let's just keep it real. It's parasitic when you have these type of encounters and relationships with people. Because a parasite, what does it do? It feeds off of the host, right? That's what it does. So these people feed off of you and your energy. You see, it could be something about you. And here's the thing. Don't ever think that a person that does this to you, don't ever think that it's something wrong with you. No, it's nothing wrong with you. It's something wrong with them. Because I know a lot of people start thinking that, oh, it's me. You know, maybe if I just do this, or maybe if I just change this about myself, things will get better. No, honey, it's not going to get better. And it's not about you. It's about them. You see, some people like to sleep around with numerous people. Some people like to play games. And some people like to take a little bit of something from everyone that they encounter and deal with. So they'll keep numerous people around for that reason. And at the same time, they're running nothing but game, telling you all the sweet, nice things that you want to hear. But that is just to keep you stagnant, right? And when you engage with these people, the more and the longer you endure and engage with them, you'll find that you become codependent upon them. And that's why it's so hard to just let them go. Now, you know they're no good, right? You know they're no good. It's like the scene in The Matrix where I keep telling you all about, where the guy says, I know the steak isn't real, but it just tastes so good, right? That's how it is. You know these people are no good, and you know they're no good for you, but something about them just makes you want to keep on clinging on and hoping that they're changed. Let me tell you something. You can't change anyone into what you want or who you want them to be. That's up to each individual to do that for themselves. And some people flat out clearly don't want to change, because at the end of the day, they don't see anything wrong with what they're doing. If they're out here using people and abusing people and taking something from everyone and not giving anything in return, they don't think it's anything wrong with that, because that's just how they are. That's the psychopath in them. That's the sociopath in them. These people have psychopathic and sociopathic tendencies. They're narcissists. They're control freaks. They want to control any and all situations. And they want to keep people on standby just to keep using and pulling a piece off of them until there's nothing left. So you'll drive yourself crazy sometime if you sit there hoping, wishing, and waiting that these people are going to change, because they're not. So when someone says to you, let's just be friends, tell them, let's just be nothing. Okay? Because here's the thing you should ask yourself. How are you going to be friends with somebody you were once in love with and who you thought loved you? How are you going to just be friends with them when you were all in love with them? You thought they were in love with you, and then you found out that clearly they were just running game the whole time. At the end of the day, honey, I don't need friends like that. Because if you deceive me in a relationship, why the hell would I think you're going to be my friend and really be loyal to me in a friendship? I don't want those kind of friends. With those kind of friends, honey, you wouldn't need enemies. So sever the ties that bind. The people that do you wrong, you can forgive them if they ask for forgiveness and if they're willing to change their behavior, but only if they do those things. Because some people, like I said before, just say, oh, I'm sorry, but they don't change their behavior. They just say the words to appease you because they think that's what you want to hear. And people will continue to use you and abuse you as long as you allow them to. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you. If you allow people to disrespect you, well, why would they show you respect? Now, if you demand respect, then that's usually what you get. And if you don't get it, then cut that person off and don't deal with them. Make them irrelevant. But irrelevant people love to stay in your life to foolishly try to make you feel that they have some type of relevance, when really they don't. They only serve to bring you down and make you feel bad about yourself, make you have low self-esteem and all of that. And they thrive off of this because your energy being depleted gives them the energy that they need to continue their nefariousness. So, like I said before, Bezilla says, right, actually recompense. Absolutely, beloved. So before you sit there and waste valuable time, life, days, months, and even years on people that mean you no good and are not going to bring anything to the table, spiritually, physically, monetarily, or any of those things, cut these people off. Don't waste your time. Take back your energy that they stole. And they absolutely steal your energy, because here's the thing. Now, someone could say, well, you actually give them your energy. Yes, that's true. You do give them some of your energy, but at the same time, if they're being deceptive, if they're being Decepticons out here in these streets, if they're out here deflecting, gaslighting, running game, painting false narratives, then they're stealing your energy. Because you would not even be wasting your time with them had you known this is who they really were in the first place. People put up facades. They have fake personas. They're not who they say they are. And then when you call them on it, they play the victim. I want you to pay attention to these nefarious narcissists. They want to play the victim. Then they'll tell you, oh, you're just being mean. Oh, you're acting bitter. When they tell you they just want to be friends. And then they'll say, oh, you're just bitter. The thing is, it's not that you're bitter. It's that you feel like you have been slighted in some way. You feel like someone played games with your emotions. And of course, that's what they did. Of course, that's what they did. But they're not going to admit that. So they try to flip the script and say, oh, no, you're just bitter. That's why you're saying all these hurtful things to me. Now they're hurt. After they hurt you, now their feelings are hurt. Now their feelings are supposed to matter when yours never did to them. Make that make sense. But this is what these wicked people do. So when someone is telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this goes for men and women. If someone is telling you, let's just be friends, trying to put you in the friend zone, cut them off. Tell them, with friends like you, I wouldn't need any enemies. So thanks, but no thanks for your offer. I'm going to keep it pushing. All right. Peace and blessings. That's what you tell them. Peace and blessings. All right. Keep it pushing. Because, you know, some of us, we actually just can't think enough of ourselves to realize that we deserve better. We just can't think enough of ourselves to realize we deserve better. All the time you're wasting on someone who means you no good and who is no good for you, you're losing time on someone who actually is. There's someone out there who actually loves you, will love you the way you deserve and desire to be loved. There's someone who will be loyal, faithful, and true to you. Someone who will uplift you and inspire, encourage, and motivate you and stand behind you and beside you. There's someone who will do all of those things. But you're not going to find them as long as you stay stuck, stagnant, waiting, hoping, and wishing that this no good person right next to you is going to change. But there's a good side to this, though. There is a positive side. You see, the positive side is this. When you encounter these people, these narcissists, when you encounter them and after you see the role that they played, clearly a role, because they weren't being their true selves, their authentic selves. They were just merely playing a role from a script that they wrote for themselves. Now, but when you encounter these people, after dealing with them, the one good thing you can say is that they taught you a lesson. They taught you a valuable lesson. So take the lesson that they gave and use that to your benefit so that in the future, no one can run that same game, that line of BS, that con on you again. So actually, they can help you move forward once you realize how they deceived you. So in the next relationship, you know what to look for. You see the red flags, right? That's another thing we do. Sometimes in relationships, we see red flags. And this isn't only in intimate relationships. This is even in friendships, right? Sometimes we see the red flags, but yet we ignore them because we want to give the person, for whatever reason, the benefit of the doubt. Or because the heart wants what it wants. But at the end of the day, you can't always listen to your heart. And I know people love to say that, listen to your heart. No, don't listen to your heart. That's what you shouldn't do. Listen to your mind. See, anytime you get involved in a no good relationship with a no good person, whether it's a friendship or an intimate relationship, it is the heart that fools you into sticking with this person. Your mind is telling you, you see all the signs. Your mind is saying, they lied to you about this. Now, you know you caught them cheating. You know they talk to you crazy. You know they can be disrespectful. You know you can't trust them. This is what your mind is telling you. But your heart wants what it wants. And the heart is saying to you, no, they're going to change. Well, if you hadn't done this, they wouldn't have said that. Some of this is your fault. That's what the heart would tell you. Don't listen to your lying heart. Listen to your mind. Because if we all just listen to our hearts without thinking, without acknowledging the circumstances of which we find ourselves in these relationships, if you just listen to your heart, I can assure you, so many times you will be led astray. Okay? Because like I said, the heart wants what it wants. It really does. And the heart doesn't think about consequences. The heart doesn't think about the worst of a person. The heart only wants to think about the best of that person. But your mind is sitting there telling you, you have to look at the good and bad, the pros and the cons. And if this person is giving you so much good that the bad things about them are far outweighed, okay, that's one thing. But if this person is giving you more bad than good, then you need to cut them off. And if this person has come to you as a wolf in sheep's clothing, as someone who has professed themselves to be something that they clearly are not, well, how could you ever trust this person? How could you ever trust this person? And here's the main thing. If you confront someone about their BS, whether it's a friend or someone you're involved in an intimate relationship with, if you confront them about the things they've done to slight you, to make you feel bad, or to have hurt you, or whatever, if when you confront them, they get defensive and start saying, oh, you're this and you're that, and pointing the finger to you, that person isn't sorry. They're not sorry. Because people who are genuinely sorry, they'll accept ownership of what they've done, and they will apologize and mean it. And they will try to do things to make up for it. But if instantly the person starts saying, oh, you're just being mean, oh, you're just mad, oh, you're just bitter, oh, you're just saying that because you're upset, you don't really mean it, I didn't do this, and they start playing the victim, honey, cut that person off with a quickness. Cut that person off with a quickness, because, honey, that ain't nothing but a mind game. That's all that is. That is nothing but manipulation tactics, okay? Trying to make you feel bad about yourself, and so you don't blame them for the things that they did, that they willfully and woefully did, honey, on purpose. And they did it numerous of times and continue to do it. And in fact, they're still doing it when they're sitting there trying to run their con game on you, making you think it's all your fault. Making you think that, you're crazy. And acting like you're hurting them after they've already hurt you numerous of times. Miss me with it. Okay? Miss me with it. Silent D says, send them to the scrap heaps. Absolutely. So cut these people off and take back your energy that they stole. They not only stole your energy, they stole your time. And nobody at this point should have time to waste. Okay? Nobody has time to waste at the end of the day. Time is much more valuable than money, because if you lose money, you can always make it back. Right? You lose anything material, you can make it back. Right? You lose one man, you can get another one. You lose one woman, you can get another one. But what you can't ever get back is time. Time is one of the most valuable assets that we all have. And if you want to waste your time on somebody who clearly means you no good, and you keep thinking they're going to change and they clearly are not. And the reason, like I said, most of these people won't change is because they don't want to. Things are going good for them. I mean, just think about it. If you can run a con game on people to get them to do whatever you want them to do, and put up with all of your BS and accept you and respect you and still love you, even though you do the worst low down things to them, even though you lie, cheat, and steal, even though you stab them in the back repeatedly, even though you're negative, if you can still get someone to love you and respect you and stand by you, why would you change? Why would these nefarious devils change? They have no incentive to. They have no incentive to. But rest assured, every dog has their day. So these type of people, oh, they always get their karma. And you may not be around to see it when they do. But rest assured, due to the universal laws that we all have to live under, they always get their just desserts. Okay? That's why when people do things like that, let me tell you something. There has been some people that have done low down things to me. And I said, you know what, I'm done with them. And at some point I was like, you know what, I should do this to get back at them. I should do X, Y, and Z to get back at them. But you know why I don't have to do anything to get back at them? Because at the end of the day, karma knows everybody's address. And sooner than later, it always comes to pay a visit to those who deserve it. So you don't have to waste your time plotting revenge, because revenge is also low vibrational. That's low vibrational, because here's the thing. While you're sitting there plotting to do something low down and dirty to them, well, you're just wasting energy and time still on the same no good person. So just move on, keep it pushing. Go on, live your best life, your happy life, stay positive. And all you have to do is say a prayer for them. Just say a prayer for them. Most High, I know that you say everyone gets what they deserve. So whatever they have coming to them, whether it's good or bad, I hope they get it real soon. That's all you got to do. And they will. Whether it's good or bad, they'll get it real soon. That's all you have to do. And then just wash your hands and be done with it. That's all you need to do. Don't sit there wasting your time thinking about plots of revenge and all of that. I wouldn't even give them the time of day. And in fact, when I saw them in the future, I would still speak to them, because I don't have to be mad or bitter, and neither should you. Because at the end of the day, even through their nefariousness, they will have taught you a lesson. And if you took heed to the lesson, if you take heed to the lesson, then you will not allow anyone to fool you like that again. And you will not put all your trust and all your eggs in one basket with that type of devil ever again. All right? Pearlie says, Queen, can you please run for president? You got my vote 1,000,000 times. I love you. Thank you, beloved. Thank you for your kind words and your contribution. Peace, love, and blessings to you. And you know I love you, right, Black? But someone says, what if it's your father? Yamiko says, what if it's your father? Let me tell you something, beloved. What if it is your father or even your mother, right? We clearly have some narcissistic control freaks, power hungry, manipulative, no good, nefarious people in our own families. And some of them, sadly, are even our parents. Let me tell you what you do, beloved. You don't owe them anything. If someone is being low down and wicked to you, I don't care if it's your mother and father. Honey, you don't have to put up with that. Don't feel like you owe them something because they birthed you into the world, because at the end of the day, the bottom line is you didn't ask to come here. That's a choice that they consciously made, and you thank them for it, that you came into existence. But you don't owe them anything. If someone's being low down and nasty and dirty to you, if someone's not wishing you well and they clearly are treating you like an enemy or somebody off the streets, you don't owe them anything. If it's your father or your mother, you treat them the same way you would treat anyone else who slighted you or did you wrong. You treat them as you would treat any other adversary. Because a lot of us, that's the problem. A lot of us seem to think, because a lot of us seem to feel that people in our family who do these things to us, that we owe them something. They feel like, you know, they have to try to make amends. Here's the thing. You can try to make amends, but you can only make amends with a person who is truly sorry and sincere about, you know, their apology and about the things that they've done. They really are remorseful for it. But if they're not showing you any signs of remorse, if they're not telling you, begging you for forgiveness, at least asking for forgiveness, if they're not showing any signs that they're changing or want to change, then you need to cut them off. Because negative people are never going to do you anything good. They're never going to yield you any positive benefits or rewards. That's what they're not going to do. Well, I will say this. The only positive thing that you can get from negative people is the fact that you learn a lesson from them. And pay attention, because some people come into our lives as our soulmates, people that will love us unconditionally, and we'll be able to love them the same. Some people come into our lives as good friends who will stand beside you and have your back, ride or die. Some people, though, come into our lives for a season and a reason. And once that season has ended, they're supposed to be gone. See, some people come to give us a lesson. And if you take heed to that lesson and learn from it, then you need not have anything else to do with them after that, because that's the only purpose they served in your life, was to teach you a lesson. So whether it's your mother, father, sister, brother, whomever it is, if they're doing something that is not conducive with what you're trying to do with your life, if it's not beneficial, if it's not uplifting and inspiring, motivating, encouraging, if it's not positive, if it's not optimistic, ambitious, or any of those things, you need to cut them off. Sever the ties that bind. Some of our own flesh and blood are the ones who bring us to ruin. But they can only do so if you allow them to. That's why you have to cut some people off. It's imperative. It's for your own well-being, mentally and physically. You have to learn to detach from people. That's what you have to do. So with that all being said, take back your energy that they stole. I'm going to leave you all with this. If you don't love yourself first, if you don't love yourself first, if you don't put yourself first, how can you be as productive as you could be? At the end of the day, though you want to help other people, you love other people and all of that, you have to first take care of yourself. You have to make sure your own mentality is positive, right? You have to make sure that your own spirit is in a positive place. You know how they say God helps those who help themselves? That's true. You have to help yourself before you can help other people. You have to make sure everything's okay with you, with your own energy, before you can give positive energy to somebody else. Because if your energy is all negative, how are you going to give positivity to someone else, even your own kids? So you have to make sure you're okay before you can make everyone else okay. You know, like when you're on the airplanes and they say if anything happens or whatever, they feel like the plane's going to crash or whatever, and the oxygen mask drop down, they always tell you to put on your own oxygen mask first before you try to assist anyone else. Right? Does that make sense? Because how can you help someone else when you're not even helping yourself? So make sure you always put your best foot forward as it pertains to taking care of your own mental well-being and your own health, physically and mentally, before you try to help somebody else. Okay? With that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in once again. Please make sure you like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all. Now, I love you all to life. Stay positive, productive, and constructive. Don't forget to keep the Most High first in your life. Say your daily affirmations and always try to find a positive, even in the negative. And when people are trying to bring you down and they have no signs that they want to change, let those people fall by the wayside of life. And listen, if you're having a hard time just getting rid of them altogether, like cold turkey, just cutting them off, I see that's me. One thing about me is I can cut people off cold turkey. I can love you today and just not want nothing to do with you tomorrow. You can be completely irrelevant. It all depends on the person. It all depends on them, not me. It doesn't depend on me. It depends on them. It depends on them. However you present yourself, however you treat me, however you behave when you're in my presence, whether you wish me well or not, that's what I use to determine whether I'm going to deal with somebody or not. But I could love you today, and you could do something that I deem so nefarious, I don't want anything else to do with you. You then become irrelevant. I won't call you. I have nothing to say to you or whatever. Right? So, Swirl Girl said Pisces don't play. That's right, beloved. We absolutely don't. So, with that all being said, do what's best for you and cut off at the hip anyone who is bringing negativity into your life and never has anything good or beneficial to say, no matter who they are. Because you come first. You come first. Love yourself first. Don't ever love somebody more than you love yourself. Now, I'm not talking about your children, but I'm just saying, in life, don't have people that you're in a relationship with that you love more than yourself. And don't do things for people that you know that they wouldn't do for you. Okay? If you know they wouldn't do it for you, then don't do it for them. And people who always only call you when they want to need something, cut them off too. Because that's just all stagnant, negative, dark energy. Calling somebody only when you want something. You can't even call and say, hey, how you doing? Happy birthday or whatever. Merry Christmas for those of you that celebrate holidays. I mean, you can't say nothing, but you can pick up the phone to call me when you need something. You need to borrow some money. You need to ride somewhere. You need to use my car. You can call me for those type of things. Or you want to find out some information about somebody because you know and you like to gossip. Those type of people, cut those people out because they do not yield you any beneficial rewards. You have nothing to gain positively while dealing with them. All right? So with that all being said, you're welcome, Michael, beloved. Michael says, thank you, Queen. So with that all being said, thank you all. I see all the thank yous in the chat. Thank you all. And I love you all right, Black. So everyone, enjoy the rest of this lovely day. And I hope to see you all in the next chats coming up around 3 o'clock for your daily vitamins, okay, on the original Queen Ahmadiyyah TV show. Until next time, we're our beloveds. I will talk to you all again soon.